So I was watching Jimmy High Roller's latest video on how he bet on the Celtics and Jimmy Butler and company absolutely ruined his bet. And I got to thinking, who is going to be the next playoff Jimmy in the NBA? And I searched through some players and I came across Anthony Edwards. Not only is he also Michael Jordan's son, just like Jimmy Butler, he has a history of raising his game, although small sample size, of raising his game in the playoffs. So today we're going to be talking about Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves going forward. Make sure to like button, hit the subscribe button if you do enjoy at any point and want to see more NBA content, and leave me a comment down below. Now let's go ahead and get started. Anthony Edwards has improved his numbers in any aspect of his game every single year except for free throw percentage. Points per game up by about 3 points a game. Total rebounds up by 1. Assists up by half an assist. Steals up by 0.1, but still it's going up. And then 46% from the field, 37% from three. 3-point percentage was his big weakness last year. Looks like he's fixed that. And when you look at the NBA today, it feels like the two most obvious playoff risers are the two guys that are in the NBA Finals right now, Jimmy Butler and Jamal Murray. Let's just take a look at Anthony Edwards' playoff stats. Now, keep in mind, we just talked about his regular season numbers. 31.6 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, and 5 assists. Those are good numbers, especially for a 21-year-old in his second playoff series ever. Also averaged 1.6 steals, 2 blocks, 48% from the field, and 35% from 3. At 6'6", he's got the frame, he's got the wingspan. If he wants to be a defensive monster, he can. And you saw that. He went up 7 points per game from his regular season average to his playoff average. And, you compare that to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler went up 5.6. So, I know, smaller sample size, but still, he's on that Jimmy level. And, like I said, not to mention they're related. Both have the GOAT as their father. Now, let's take a look at where Ant ranks compared to the two greatest shooting guards of all time. I think we can all agree on that. Definitely thinking Jordan's a little better than Kobe, but we'll see where Ant lines up to them. Looking at Jordan's age 21 season. It was his rookie year, and Jordan is just different. 28.2 points per game as a rookie right out of the gate, 6.5 rebounds. He is better than Ant in basically every category. We'll go ahead and cut to the chase. He did play about 2.5 more minutes per game than Ant. The only thing Ant has over him is 3-point percentage. But his third year in the league, Jordan was averaging 37 a game. So maybe Jordan is not the correct guy to compare Ant to, because Ant is playing on a playoff caliber team while Jordan was playing on one of the worst teams in the league by that time. Let's take a look at Anthony Edwards compared to Kobe Bryant, where Anthony Edwards actually is higher in almost every aspect of the game. 2 more points per game, half a rebound less, but also half an assist less, and then same steals, about the same blocks. Ant had a little bit more turnovers, but they shot it the same from the field, and Ant shot it about 6% higher from 3. So he actually looks just a lot like Kobe Bryant at their age 21 season, and of course that was Kobe's 4th year in the league, whereas it was Ant's 3rd. However, the Timberwolves have made some big-time blunders. In particular, these two trades right here, or else the T-Wolves would be one of the best teams in the Western Conference and rivaling the Denver Nuggets going forward as the team at the top of the West. They did trade they traded for D'Angelo Russell, gave up their first-round pick, which turned into Jonathan Kuminga, and gave up Andrew Wiggins, who has turned into one of the Warriors' best player. Elite defender and can score. He found his role, and that was as the all-star role player, not the franchise player, and is working out great. They also traded for Rudy Gobert. They gave up Walker Kessler, Jared Vanderbilt, and 5 first-round picks, as well as Malik Beasley, who put up 20 a game for the T-Wolves not too long ago. That was a mistake. As you're about to see, Walker Kessler and Rudy Gobert are almost the same player, except for the fact that Walker Kessler is younger and makes way less. You see here the numbers. Rudy averaged 4 more points per game and 3 more rebounds a game while averaging a block less. Not to mention the fact that Walker is a rookie, and he was 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting this year. Now let's take a look at the contracts. Walker Kessler is in line to make $11 million over the next 3 years. while Rudy Gobert is in line to make $46 million next year. Just let that sink in for a second. The Timberwolves traded essentially a guy that could do the same thing as Rudy Gobert for 5 first-round picks, Jared Vanderbilt, and a massive contract. Anthony Edwards, I'm sorry, man. This is what could have been. This is what the lineup this year could have been. Thinking that you still give up Malik Beasley and maybe a first-round pick to Minnesota or to Utah for Mike Conley, or you go elsewhere at the point guard position. You could have found other, potential suitors at the deadline for a point guard. You could have Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Andrew Wiggins, Jared Vanderbilt, and Karl Anthony Towns. That lineup is making it out of the play-in for sure. They're probably sitting at around the 5 or 6 seed, if I had to guess. Because you take away Wiggins from the Warriors, put D'Lo back on that team. Man. And the bench, this is where you got to look away, T-Wolves fans. Now, maybe you don't draft maybe you no longer draft Kuminga at 7, but, man, this would give you a chance to really develop Kuminga if you did, one, who can be an all-star type player. He definitely has the potential and the skill set. You also could bring in a Walker Kessler. You have Jaden McDaniels, elite defender off the bench. Jordan McLaughlin, serviceable backup point guard. And then you also have like Naz Reid. I mean, this is an elite young bench in the NBA right now. Not to mention, one of the things the Timberwolves struggled with this year was their depth. Now, let's take a look at where Anthony Edwards does rank right now in terms of best shooting guards in the league. James Harden, Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Bradley Beal, Donovan Mitchell. Those are, kind of the consensus top 5 shooting guards in the league. Shea, if you want to include him as a shooting guard, probably the best young shooting guard in the NBA, although I really have him more of a point guard. Now, I see Anthony Edwards having a breakout 4th year. He is far and away the number 1 option. The Timberwolves have established that. Coming into the year, I think Cat was still kind of seen as the number 1 option. Anthony Edwards is the number 1 option. He has lots of motivation. Okay, it made him so mad in the playoffs that he lost that he hit a lady with a chair. They got gentlemen swept, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a guy that cannot stand to lose, that will drive himself crazy working on his game to ensure that he will not lose again. He had a bad Game 5. You look at his playoff numbers. Game 5 was by far his worst game. 6 for 15 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3, only put up 18 points. Whereas he put up 30, or 1 point off of 30 in every other game, including a 41-point Game 4 in a close loss. So I think he has all the motivation in the world he needs. Given his dad was Michael Jordan, he's going to have that work ethic. I think he's already proven that as well. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on Anthony Edwards going into year 4, Man, this Timberwolves team could be so much better and have about $40 million more in cap space this offseason if they wouldn't have made those dumb trades. But, it is what it is. We'll see what happens with the T-Wolves, what moves they make. They don't have their pick, I'm pretty sure, so we'll see what happens, but let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment below, and hit the subscribe button. Turn on the post notifications if you do want to see more NBA content and off-season content, or just NBA content in general. This is the place to be. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.